I did say I slowly am drifting away from shopping Chanel. I have 4 bags here today to unbox with you guys. All of these items were ordered before I went into labor, so I'm really happy that I'm able to unbox all of these things once I recovered. Some of the downfalls that I've already discovered. If I were to do this is what happens. You guys know that I have excused myself from the channel for a couple of weeks, so today this video is going to be a catch-up video on all of the unboxed goodies that I have collected. So I am super excited to be opening all of these bags with you guys, and that includes accessories, bags, shoes, and SLGs. So without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Sunshine, I want rain, I want love, I want the pain. Shimmy up, gon' say my name, cause it don't feel the same when you're not around. The feelings come out, I wish I could say.
So first things first, let's talk about these fashion jewelry. And I probably mentioned in some of my older videos that it's not the smartest thing to invest in fashion jewelry, as they will fade over time and color change and do all kinds of things that might surprise you. So spending a couple $100s on these things maybe not the best decisions to make. If you are someone who would love to buy jewelry, perhaps you can use these couple $100s and save up towards buying a bigger and more significant piece of jewelry from some of the jewelry brands like Cartier or VanCleef. I kind of forgot about that when I saw these two pieces. One of them is this pair of earrings, and I just remember walking into a store in the area that I was having lunch, and I was like, oh, there's a Chanel store there, so let me just pop in and see what's available. The stock wasn't the greatest, and you and I know if you like some of the hottest Chanel items, you almost have to like ask for them ahead of time in order for the salesperson to be on the lookout or to reserve it for you. But I'm glad I asked to see their jewelry tray. Once the person took out the tray, I saw these pair of earrings. I was really excited because these are super vintage looking, and they are hollow in the middle with the double CC logo. It's a really nice and decent size to be worn on the ear, as it's not super dainty, and they do make quite a good statement. Unfortunately, I did not try them on when I made the decision to purchase them, but I knew that this is a pair that I would like to keep in my collection, because I don't think I own that many pairs of Chanel earrings, as I think I hardly rotate them. I only really look at them because usually I just wear my fine jewelry or, you know, my diamond studs. And today I'm actually not wearing anything because once I discharged from the hospital from labor and delivery, I am not really wearing any jewelry. So I'm trying to stay minimal for the time being while my baby is little. So earrings might be my new thing, and I'm really excited to be sharing these with you guys in the try-on, so you guys will see what it looks like on and what the sizes are. And if I'm looking at the label that came with this particular earring, it didn't really indicate any season. As you know, Chanel release their things in seasons. So for example, currently I believe they are just launching the 21A, which is autumn, which is fall winter collection, and this one just said REV, so I don't know if it means it's reserve, which means it's a part of their permanent line. But I clearly have not seen these earrings before, and I like the simplicity of it, and also the gold tone is made into kind of that brassy and very vintage style, so I do think these can pair really nicely with like a simple t-shirt and jean, as they make quite a statement. So these are the first pair of accessories that I'm sharing with you guys. Moving on to the next one.
I want sunshine, I want rain, I want love, I want the pain. Shimmy up, gon'
I first saw this particular ring on Red, which is like the Chinese version of Instagram. For some reason, I have noticed that Asia often gets the launch faster and sooner than America, even though it could be a rumor. But for some reason I have just seen, you know, people sharing the newer pieces on that feed a lot quicker than over here on Instagram. When I saw this ring, my heart pumped faster again because I don't really buy Chanel fashion jewelry that often anymore, even though at their sales event I have purchased like quite some brooches. It is justified because of the half off. This particular ring is very simple. Basically, it's just the Chanel logo all the way around. I call it the Chanel Eternity. Obviously it is not made of any precious metal, so this one actually feels really light on hand, and it looks very thin. It's not one of those chunky and more like vintage looking style. It's more elegant and also more sleek. I love that it is in the champagne gold color. I really wanted to take it off, but it kind of fits perfectly on my right hand ring finger, so I'm glad I landed on this size because I know usually I wear bigger size rings and I know that I can get swollen on certain days. So this is size 54 and it fits perfectly on my ring finger. And once again, sizes do vary and we have different, you know, we have different build as for our bodies, so it's really important for you to know what size fits you the most. Needless to say, I am happy with this purchase, but I do think it looked a little bit insignificant once I opened it. It didn't really look as big as I thought it would be. That is kind of the downfall of you look at an item through pictures or images, because it can be captured under different lighting, and also the proportions might be very different than what you think it is once you see it in person. But overall, I still think it's a very nice layering piece, and I'm pretty sure this is one of those pieces that people are gonna want to buy from the 2021 Autumn Winter collection. So if you haven't looked into it yet, I believe the collection is just starting to launch in the US, as I have asked for this about a couple of weeks ago. I just received this. So if you guys are interested, definitely reach out, and I'm pretty sure you can still find it. Those two are the accessories. The next exciting thing is a bag. Actually, Chanel called it a SLG again from this particular launch.
I want sunshine, I want rain, I want love, I want the pain. Shimmy up, gon' say my name, cause it don't feel the same when you're not around, the feelings come out.
I got so excited when I saw a picture of this, and it is this beautiful media art collection, and it is a small kind of leather wallet or leather card holder that is set on a all-around Chanel signature pearl chain with a nice little detail over here. This handle over here is not removable or bendable, so it is fixed like this, and you can certainly hold on to this bag like this. It is quite heavy though, I will say, so some of the downfalls that I've already discovered from just unboxing this piece is that this piece tends to kind of tilt forward and not stay straight. If I were to do this is what happens. It kind of just like tilts over or forward because of a very heavy top pearl chain. If we're talking about just the appearance, I cannot stress how much I love this particular piece. And I have noticed that even though I did not like all of the shows that they've done season after season, all of the actual launches on leather pieces are surprisingly good. So you just have to kind of like look through and see what your local store buys, because show are just more like ready to wear and maybe a few pieces here and there to kind of tell you what's coming in the season. But this is definitely one of those items where I think if you're a collector or someone who is really loving Chanel and want to make a statement, this is an excellent piece to own. And I was surprised to receive this first because I have two other pieces coming from the upcoming 21A autumn collection. My camera stopped. What I was saying was I have two more pieces coming, so if you guys are interested to find out what I what I got, which I'm super excited about. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because it will send you notifications if you turn on the notification. And yeah, this piece pretty much is a card holder on a chain. It has, I would say, 2.5 compartment, one bigger and more stretchy pocket, one more conservative pocket, and one literally just card holder. So I will have to see how much things can actually fit in here and whether or not once it's stuffed, it is still going to be tilting back and forth. But I think my theory might be true that it is going to keep tilting back and forth no matter what because of how heavy and how big this piece of metal is as a top handle. But overall, I still have to say a lot of fashion items are really just too cute not to own, and I still have an eye for this, and I still think it's super pretty to look at, and it's a great piece to be added to the collection. However, some of you might disagree, so let me know if you think this is a good buy if you are someone who loves collecting Chanel items. I personally think nowadays, since handbags are so overly rated, in my opinion, I do think small accessories are something that I personally would choose over owning a new handbag because I don't really put too many things in there besides just a couple cards and driver's license. But I'm very curious to hear your opinions, so let me know in the comment section below.
I want sunshine, I want rain, I want love, I want the pain. Shimmy up, gon' say my name, cause it don't feel the same when you're not around.
And lastly, I do have this pair of nice sandals that I'm gonna be talking to you guys about. And very interestingly, the Chanel sale was happening. So before I got my hands on anything, I believe, you know, they do their first kind of pre-sale to their VIP clients, so everybody gets like the best picks, and then people who are not on their list gets to buy from the rest of the sale and the rest of the leftover stock. And I think this is from about maybe a couple of seasons ago, maybe 2 years ago, I could be wrong, but I am glad to be collecting this pair of sandal because of all the details on here. I love pearls. I think it's a Chanel statement, it's a Chanel staple, and also the double CC on the back of the heel. I believe this was offered also in the beige color, but by the time when I reached out to my sales, it was already gone. So this is the last pair that actually was mislabeled as a different size, and luckily I was able to still score this one in the size that I wanted. I believe it fits a little small as I usually wear size 37. However, most of you guys or some of you guys know that I just gave birth. From everybody else who had already given birth to their children have been telling me that do not buy shoes when you're pregnant because your shoe size might change post-pregnancy. So I'm gonna have to put this theory to test because I was a size 37, but for shoes at Chanel, I really think they vary from time to time. For the most part, I do wear size 37, but for like an espadrille, I like to buy one size bigger because they fit very snug in the beginning, and then eventually you can break it in and then it loosens up. So I did the same thing with sandal because they have straps. So I definitely don't want to have all of these little details trap my feet when I wear it. As I know myself well, sometimes I'm swollen. So I bought it in the bigger size, and this pair was in the size 38. I'll be sharing some try-on footage with you guys, and hopefully you can take a look.
Can I tell you something I do not know? Sorry if I'm not in the mood.
And with that being said, all of these items were ordered before I went into labor, so I'm really happy that I'm able to unbox all of these things once I recovered. I really hope you like my picks. If you have any questions, I look forward to seeing them in the comment section below. And if you think this is a fun video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up because it really supports the channel. And I look forward to answering any questions you have. At the same time, if you want to see more visuals and how I use these on the daily, make sure you head over to Instagram page because over there I do share a lot more visuals. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.